Hello, everyone. It's a little bit later than usual, and let me be honest here. It is because I've been practicing self-care. I seem to be either in work mode or totally relaxed. So I forgot about the broadcast. But here I am now, and let's talk. Let's have a short little conversation about emotionally unavailable parents. So our problem is this: the harm is done when we are small and we don't know that we are having emotionally unaware parents. Right, so now that, now we get older and we are starting to see a few things in ourselves. So we may be very reactive, we may be very touchy, we may be over controlling, we may be quite fearful or anxious. Those are all part of having some trauma left over. But an emotionally unavailable parent doesn't teach us anything about the parent at the time, because we don't have language when we're that small. Nobody's going to expect a 4-year-old to go like, you know what, I'm just a little bit stuffed because my mommy is not emotionally able to connect with me, I mean, it's not going to happen. Most of us as adults can't even say that. We're not aware of that as adults. So how can we put this judgment on ourselves that we should have known better? Not possible. We only see it in the fallout years and years and years later. And it is, first and foremost, it is inner feeling deep down inside, deep down. We may not ever show it to anybody, but that we are somehow not acceptable and that we have to hide from other people who we are inside. And we may become very, very skilled at wallpapering over what we think we should never show the world. So we can be very careful about letting people in, because they may just see who's inside. We can be pulling away from people quite easily. We can retreat into our hole very fast. If we actually let somebody in the first place, we can cut people off like this. I'm done with you. If we in the slightest feel judged or left outside, because it's a painful reminder. So we may have, as adults, an idea that we were not the preferred child, or we don't have a great relationship with our mother or father, or that we don't feel secure in ourselves unless we check with our parent. There are various ways in which we can start investigating how big that influence was on us. But a lot of us are going to say, I had a happy childhood. We're only going to know it about this feeling inside us that somehow something about us is not acceptable. So we may push ourselves, we may be very successful. Oh my word, now my battery is running low. I didn't even have Antoinette here to distract you. So I have to run. Sorry. Sorry. Very bad timing. Okay. And now I'm probably going to lose my thread. Okay. Technical department is not very good tonight. Let me see. There we go. Situation salvaged. Sorry about that, people. Okay. Give me a hug. Please give me an online hug for this online faux pas. Luckily, I've dropped this thing that I have to be perfect and that everything has to be perfect, because in the end, what's more important is that I show up and be real and come and tell you the stuff that I've learned along the way, the stuff that really works for us. Okay, so a lot of us are not going to know that we had an emotionally unaware parent, one or two, usually one, that because usually everyone overcompensates, but it's not a rule, because we would have normalized our upbringing. And that means that as a child, look, most human beings, even as adults, want to just fit in. That's all we want to do. We don't want to stand out and be different when we're small and when we don't have a lot of self-confidence. We just want to feel accepted, acceptable, and we just want to feel that we are the same as everybody else, not less. So we are going to find ways to normalize our lives in ways that is acceptable for the small mind. And things that are traumatic for us is going to be hidden from us by our subconscious mind, because it's too hard to bear for the little mind. So a lot of us grow up saying, I had a wonderful childhood. But we only know it if we look at the effects that it had on us. So that's important. Check the effects that it had on you. The second thing is this. Unfortunately, we tend to find a life-mate partner, spouse, whatever you want to call it, who will help us fix our childhood wound. So if I had an emotionally unavailable father, there's a very big chance that I would end up being married in a relationship or have several relationships, one after the other, with somebody who is emotionally unavailable. The way in which we learn to not keep on repeating this is to heal the emotional availability wound inside ourselves by becoming our own best friend, by starting to love and accept ourselves and wanting better for ourselves and asking for better for ourselves. If my mother was the emotionally unavailable person, then I would have huge self-judgment, because I would decide that I'm not good enough for her. And so it's a little bit of a mess up. So in a man, it would be the other way around. Then it would be his mother, emotionally unavailable. Then he would more likely end up with an emotionally unavailable spouse, partner, wife. So sometimes, even although we've normalized our lives and because we've worked so hard to be acceptable, to fit in, we check what everybody else is doing, we push ourselves, we're very careful about who we let into our lives, so we sort of manage our life. But when we have a close relationship, our core wounds come out. And sometimes it's only when the relationships start falling apart, or it is serial relationships falling apart, or we have the same fight over and over and over, that we start to realize, but maybe there's something else going on that I'm not seeing. So the first thing to ask yourself is, was my parent really emotionally available there for me? Forget about that happy childhood stuff. All of us manages to have it some way or other in the end. We do manage to find, just to survive, we do manage to find something. But when we sit and we ask the really hard questions, were they really there for me? Or was it that I had to be there for them? Did they really accept me for me? Or did I have to be a certain person, or act a certain way, or achieve a certain something, or be invisible in order for them to like having me around, or to endure me, or to celebrate me? Ask if they made space for your emotions in their lives. Did they allow it in? Was it okay? An emotionally unavailable parent has no space for your feelings, nothing. They don't even have space for your own feelings. Why would they have space for yours? Okay, so it sucks if that's the cards you've been dealt with. But the great news is this. We can now, as adults, decide this generational trauma stops with me. Because a parent who is emotionally unavailable came from a parent who is emotionally unavailable. You can say, it stops with me. I will do the work. I am not going to let this continue one more generation. I will start talking differently. I will start behaving differently. I will be a different example. And then you get to be the change in your family, in your workplace, around you. It is possible. It really is possible. And I want that for you. So let me go and see. Hello, there's some people here. Maybe I should always be very late. Hi, Antoinette. Where were you when I had to go charge my laptop? Thank you. Hi, Tim. Okay, I think basically metaphor for life to filter all our experiences through. Tim, when are me and you having a conversation? Come on, send me a message. Let's have a conversation on air soon. And you know, Tim, but I like talking to you about how our childhoods are formed. And I know that you've got some really expert insights and helping people understand how much our children are carrying with them. Thanks for being here. It's Antoinette. I think I must get you on standby just so that you can save me for my full pass. Well, thanks everybody who showed up live. If you come and watch afterwards, I'll come back and I'll come and see if there's any comments. And please share this if you know that somebody needs this. A lot of us have emotionally unavailable parents. Unfortunately, a lot of us are emotionally unavailable parents. A lot of us are in the relationship with emotionally unavailable partners. It's hard. It's not easy. And you can't do anything about your life until you become aware of your patterns, who you choose, why you choose them, and then become an observer in your own life so that you can actually start changing some of these patterns that may not suit you anymore. And I hope these patterns don't suit you anymore. I hope you're starting to want more and more and more for yourself, because so much more is possible. We do not need to just carry on perpetuating or living with or settling for generational trauma. We can really be the change. So thank you all for coming. And remember, I like those hearts. So keep on giving those hearts. And tonight I need a few hugs too. And I hope you had a lovely, relaxing weekend. I had a great one. And hope to see you soon. Lots of love.